Hi, my name is Ayan Banerjee, and I call this beautiful and sometimes underrated city of Houston my home, and it's been so for the last decade. I stand here in front of you at Eastern Glades, a newly created space within Memorial Park that happens to be possibly one of the largest urban spaces in the United States. This particular space, especially now during this global pandemic, has almost become sacrosanct to the residents of this city who treasure coming out here, just escaping it all, and being outdoors with nature just for a little while.
It's been a few days since Hurricane Laura hit the Gulf Coast. While Houston dodged a massive bullet, folks in Louisiana and East Texas weren't so lucky. Are there still people who believe that Hurricane Harvey was a once in a lifetime event? Can we even afford to take that chance? The aftermath of Harvey will continue to plague Houston and many parts of Texas for a lifetime. The intensity and frequency of these storm events is now a constant, grave, and pressing reminder that the time to act collectively on climate change is now. As Americans, we are no longer insulated from disasters. Of all the superpower nations, the US has been brought to its knees by COVID 19, and in its wake, unleashed a wave of inequality, instability, and economic depression. Through this, we continue to suffer through wildfires in California and extreme heat waves unprecedented all across the country. I couldn't be more happy and energized to join the Climate Reality Project at this crucial juncture in our lives. My goals are essentially twofold. The first is to promote the sustainable lifestyle that my wife and I have been leading for the last few years and expand our circle of influence. The second is to work hand in hand with our fellow climate advocates and our chapter networks to spread the message of climate reality in our personal, professional, and extended networks. To also petition and advocate for change in our city and state administrations for economic, social, and clean energy reform.
So, having done several cycles of composting, I can confidently tell you that you don't need a whole lot of fancy contraptions to do home composting. As a starting point, you see this bowl in front of you. So that's essentially a fruit bowl that we pick up from the supermarket and then repurpose to collect our daily kitchen compost. So typically there'll be vegetable and fruit peels, coffee beans, as you can see in here as well. We don't do cooked food or any scraps, because that tends to not only attract unwanted pests but also can be a little bit smelly as well. So now switching over to the active compost bin, it starts out with a little layer of leaves or twigs at the bottom, and then continues to collect over a period of time. Now this particular vessel, if I may call it that, is again just a regular laundry bin that's been repurposed into a compost bin. It has holes drilled at the bottom, holes in the sides, for aeration and essentially the breakdown process. Now panning to the left is an almost ready to use compost. So that's essentially been closed off for a period of about 6 months. It's almost completely broken down at this point, almost completely dry. Again, contained in a closed bin with aeration at the bottom.